Welcome back to this Millivolt LED circuit. I've had a very interesting comment from Sadabada, who says, "Wow, please check with Supercap as a battery and brighter light so it can be used as a torch. Thanks for sharing." Well, I thought, yeah, that is quite an interesting thing. What I'm going to do is kind of along those lines. I'm going to fill up a 1F Supercap, there they are in the packet, just a 1 farad, fill it up with juice from a AAA and see how long it'll run. And along the way I'll be using that pot, which is 100k, it's in line with the positive supply, twist that up and down, see about brightnesses and see what we can do. So that's the idea. Here is the Supercap. There we are, it's just a 1F. So let's set it up and let's go. Alright, I've set the system up in the utility room. It's a room that we don't generally go in, so it should be okay to run. Light is nicely bright there. We're about 1.496. I've filled it up with that AAA. So we're about 1 PM on the Sunday. Let's see how long this lasts. This could be very interesting on this 1F. Okay, I'll leave it alone now. It's now about 2 o'clock and there's the light brightness without the light on. But we want to have a look at the voltage, and I expect it's come down quite a lot because I could have set that pot there, the variable pot, to keep the brightness down, you know, turn it a little bit as it would all be used up from the Supercap. So in which case though, with it just being left as it is, I expect this is going to be about, I don't know, 1.25 or somewhere. Let's have a look. Oh no, 1.34, 1.35. Okay, well that's doing better than I thought. We'll leave it to run, but that's how it was after an hour. An hour later, well, it's still bright enough, but it's ramped down a little bit. Let's have a look. We're on 1.279. Another hour, it's now 4 o'clock, and that's how it looks with the light off. Let's have a look at the voltage. And there we go, 1.220. Another hour, it's now 5 o'clock, and there's what the light looks like. Let's just check the voltage. Oops. Okay, 1.170. Here we are at 6 o'clock. Let's have a look at the 1.116. Actually kept the meter on for an hour there. Whoops. Well, I'm back in here at 25 past 6. This is no good, is it? What are we on here? 1.092. That's rubbish. So what happens if I turn this pot? I wonder if it'll come back on. Yeah, there we go. 1.095. So I've put the light back on again. Huh, okay, so the pot position is important. Some kind of auto-regulating circuit would be nice, wouldn't it? Something simple. Anyway, we'll keep it running again from there. Okay, there it is, in the dark. Sorry I'm a bit late, I was actually watching one of Grandad's and Old Man's videos about tearing down vapes for magnets. Anyway, so 708 or somewhere now, 1.053. And imagine, I mean, even though it's going quite nicely there, what would probably happen is, over time, I'd end up turning this pot around. It would use more and more as it did so, until it ran out of power. I imagine that'll be the way. I'll keep this going as long as I can though. But it is good to see that it's brightened up some by adjusting the pot. It's now 8 PM, here's how it looks. And we're at 1.005. Well, it's now 25 past 8. There's the light it's putting out. We just had a power cut and I don't know if we might have lost all the footage on the camera. It's normally fine. It's a Wisecam V4 and it should be recording, you know, one section every minute, but those kind of power cuts can corrupt an SD card. I really hope not. That power cut again. Yeah, 8:30. Oh, so there we go. Well, it's all flashing. You can see the street light outside. The electric company has street light, so it's always on. You can see that just flickered just then. Oh dear me. This is probably going to ruin that footage on the Wisecam that's on the circuit. Staying off a little while now. It blipped before, it went off for about 5 seconds and then came back on. I thought, oh no, that footage I'm recording, you know. And then it's just flicked off a couple of times. You just saw it come on and go back off again. Of course, there's another side to all this. If this carries on, I've got to pivot onto doing something about keeping the fridge going on the left there. Use the EcoFlow, plug that into that power strip. That's what I would normally do. And then we've got the other system in the other room that can run a fan and lights and whatnot. Wow, an interesting pivot on the video. But here we are with the wall clock showing you the time, and that's why the footage will have run out on the camera that was actually recording on that circuit. What a weird twist of events. Now if this power cut carries on, here's my idea for the 9 o'clock. Using one of my power cubes that I made some time ago. Run the mains light and we're over to here and be able to check whatever voltage is left on there. But that's my idea. And let's be all defiant here. I'm going to make a coffee. I've got the kettle over there, you can see that it's switched on. And yeah, I'll have a coffee while we've got a power cup. It's drawing 800 watts. And there we go. Now we'll just wait for the electric to come back on again. Yes, I thought I'd just come out here a minute. Well, it's only about 10 to 9. Because these are the lights that they have. The electric company have running in everybody's yard. And they're called booger lights. Apparently, these lights are on to keep away cryptids like Bigfoot or something. And indeed burglars. But these run all the time. So it's kind of interesting to have a look at the LEDs up there. They're an LED light on the power pole. But yeah, they run, you know, whenever it goes dark, they've got a little sensor on the top. And everybody's got them in the yard, so it does give some nice night illumination. Unless, of course, you've got a power cut. Of course, it does get a little confusing around here sometimes because they've got solar lights. And so, you know, it's kind of an interesting thing when you've got stuff that kicks on and just works. Like that one's come on as well. And yet there is a power cut. Anyway, I'll go back in now, do the 9 o'clock update. Okay, my wife's calling it in now, power cut. But it is 9 o'clock. We've got this light running. It's not going to stop us, is it? And, well, I'll just turn it off again for a moment. You can see the light's still on. And we'll just check the voltage. As though there's no change. So, 0.959. I may have to stop things because I'm going to have to run around connecting up the fridge, that kind of a thing. But evidently it's still running. It's now 9 PM. And I think, yeah, if I was just to turn this round a little more each time it would dim out, you know, how long would it run? But those are the figures, up to 9 PM. So that's an 8-hour run. But yeah, it's a bit of an obvious. I've just brought that light in from the utility room and now we've got light in the kitchen using the power cube. Alright, well, there's an update. It lasted about an hour, but as you can see by the yard light there, we've got power back. Right, I was just about to disassemble all this. You can see it's on 0.941 now. I just thought, you know, I better prove that it will go brighter. So there we are with the current brightness of it. And if I turn the little pot, there we go, comes on to very bright indeed. So yeah, I could have done that perhaps all night, I don't know, just generally turned it round. Let me put it up to completely full. There we go, nice and bright. And that was an interesting test. We can extrapolate something from the numbers maybe, but yeah, certainly a nice little run from that 1F.